Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to our story time. And today we have Beaker the bird. Beaker, can you say hello?
Beaker the third. Beaker the third says hello.
Yes. Well, I'm glad you're here, Beaker. I see you have a nice basket.
Now Beaker the third has a new nest.
Oh, this is much better than the last nest you had, which was made out of spaghetti noodles.
Now Beaker the third's nest is very comfortable.
Oh, that's good. And have you got something in your nest?
Oh, Beaker the third is hatching eggs.
What? That's not possible. Beaker, you're a dodo bird. And dodo birds are extinct, aren't they?
Oh, Beaker the third's eggs don't stink. No, my eggs don't stink.
Not stink. Anyway, how many eggs do you have?
Beaker the third has 2 eggs.
And what color are your eggs?
Oh, Beaker the third doesn't know yet. The eggs haven't hatched.
No, I mean, what color is the shell of your eggs?
Oh, Beaker the third's shells are white with yellow stripes.
Yellow stripes? I've never seen eggs like that. Do you mind if I look?
Beaker the third wants you to be careful.
Oh, I will. I'll be very gentle. Right here. Ooh, look at that. Beaker, where did you find these eggs?
Well, Beaker the third's been laying on these eggs for 4 days. I found them on the kitchen counter. And they had cracks. So I mended them.
So these are chicken eggs with yellow tape.
Oh, Beaker the third wants to have chicks. Other thirds are laying eggs. Why can't Beaker?
Well, Beaker, you know, chicken eggs sometimes do produce chicks, but these are unfertilized eggs. They're just used for cooking. They're dead. There's no chicken inside them. They're not going to produce life.
Oh, Beaker the third's so sad.
Oh, I'm sorry, Beaker, but it kind of reminds me of our story today. You see, in our story in John chapter 11, there was a man in Bethany. His name was Lazarus. He was very sick, so sick that we find out he died.
Oh, Beaker the third doesn't like sad stories.
I know, but you know, Beaker, the story does improve as it goes on. You see, his sisters Mary and Martha, they were so concerned about their brother before he had died that they even sent for Jesus. They thought Jesus could help them.
Oh, Beaker the third knows that Jesus healed a blind man. Jesus could help.
Well, that's what they thought too, but Jesus didn't come. In fact, it was 4 days after their brother had died, and Martha hears that Jesus is coming into Bethlehem, and she runs to meet him, and when she gets there, she says, "Lord, if only you'd been here, my brother, he wouldn't have died." And Jesus says to her, "Martha, your brother will rise again."
What does rise again mean? Beaker the third doesn't know.
Rise again? Well, Martha didn't really understand either, because she said to Jesus, she said, "Well, I know that everyone who's dead in the last day, they will all come back to life." And then Jesus said, "I am the resurrection."
Oh, bless you. Beaker says bless you
Why?
because you just sneezed.
I didn't sneeze.
Oh, go ahead.
Jesus said, "I am the resurrection."
Oh, bless you.
Beaker, resurrection.
Oh, bless you. Beaker says bless you.
Beaker, that's a word that means to come back to life from the dead.
Oh,
Yeah. Jesus said, "I am the one who controls life and death. I'm the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me, though he may die, he will live again." And then he said to Mary, or to Martha, I should say, he said to Martha, "Do you believe this?" Do you believe that whoever believes in me will never die? And Martha said, oh yes, Lord, I believe you're the Messiah, the Son of God. And so then she ran to get Mary. Mary was in the house, and she was very sad.
Oh, Beaker the third thinks they were both sad.
Yes, they were. And she runs to Jesus and she falls at his feet and she says, Lord, if only you had been here, my brother wouldn't have died. And Jesus says, where is your brother's grave? Where's Lazarus' grave? Where is he buried?
Beaker the third wants to know why Jesus would want to know that.
Well, they started going towards where the grave was. And, you know, all the people, there was crowds there because they were mourning with Mary and Martha. And Jesus said to them, remove the stone from the door of the grave. And Martha says, Lord, don't you understand? He's been dead for 4 days. He'll stink.
Oh, Beaker the third wants to know what happens. Do they pass out because of the smell?
I don't think so, Beaker. And then in front of everybody there, Jesus prays out loud. He wanted everyone there to know that he was the Son of God. He said, I want them all to know who sent me. And then he cried with a loud voice, he shouted, Lazarus, come out!
Oh, you scared, Beaker. Beaker the third scared. But dead man don't hear, dead man don't walk.
You know what happened? The Bible tells us that all of a sudden, Lazarus came out of the tomb, wrapped in his grave clothes, and Jesus commanded them to loose him or untie him and let him go.
Oh, dead man do walk.
Jesus had brought him back to life.
Oh, dead man live with Jesus. Beaker the third knows that.
Yes, dead men do live with Jesus. And you know, after all these things happened, people that were watching this happen, many of them came to believe in Jesus because they had seen him bring Lazarus back to life from the dead. Many years later, we know that Jesus died on the cross. And they put his body in a grave. And 3 days later, do you know what happened, Beaker?
Oh, Beaker the third knows this. Jesus came back to life.
That's right. You are right. And you know, boys and girls, that if we believe in Jesus, we put our trust in him and what he's done for us, not only does he give us new life, he forgives us of our sin, gives us a new life, or we'll live forever. One day we'll go to live with him in heaven.
Oh, Beaker the third thinks this is very exciting.
It is. So boys and girls, I hope that you've done that you've put your trust in Jesus. I hope you can answer that question Jesus asked Martha. Do you believe this? Do you believe that whoever believes in Jesus will live forever? Though he may die, yet he might live. Martha believed. Lazarus ended up believing. And one day we can live forever too if we put our trust in Jesus. So I hope you will do that, even today. Bye, boys and girls. Thanks for listening. Say goodbye, Beaker.
Say goodbye, Beaker. Goodbye, Beaker.